Here's my question. You guys are talking about solitude and like, having your time to yourself. I felt like that was like a lot of what people were going through during COVID, but like they didn't.
Either that or the exact opposite.
Right.
They're stuck with their partner and then they ended up in
Murdering
a
them.
divorce. Yeah, murdering them.
Yeah.
In a divorce or whatever.
Right. So,
But I think what you're trying. All right, go.
so what I'm trying to elaborate on is like you were saying that people were going like it sped up everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if there's like a negative way to approach solitude and a positive way to approach solitude.
I think if you don't really know yourself and you're forced into solitude,
Mhm.
then that's where the issues start coming up.
Mm.
But when you're put yourself into solitude to better yourself, then that's a different situation because now you're going into solitude for a growth mentality, not going into solitude
Right.
because you're like,
Grind.
Like
yeah.
if you're not going into it by choice, I feel like that's where a lot of issues arise is because of the fact that like you're just stuck.
And not only that, but and I think also just because like these people are like I'm just trying to think about like the regular person, like they're working 9 to 5, sometimes they're working 2-3 jobs, and they're working all day long and they sleep maybe a couple hours and then repeat, and they don't really have time to like self-evaluate and stuff. Like we're really blessed, I honestly believe, because we have a lot of time to self-evaluate, a lot of time to like think about our own selves and shit like that. Other people don't have time for like that. So then when they're slammed with solitude, like how you're saying, I think that's where they're now stuck with their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'm so alone, like I'm so depressed.
Right.
All I do is work, and now I'm just stuck in the house by myself. Like, what do I do? I've masturbated 300 times in the last 3 days. And, I played 19 hours of video games. Like, what the hell do I do now?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I wish I had a girlfriend. I wish I had this.
Oh my God, this sounds like somebody we know. Like, if you think about the word incel, it's just basically involuntarily celibate, right?
Yeah.
That means nobody wants them, so they become an incel. They start to hate women.
Yeah.
Right. But when you're like voluntarily like putting yourself out there and actively getting women and taking them on dates, yeah, it just becomes one of those things where it's like, wow, this is normal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was one of the biggest hurdles that I went through was the fact that like when I was by myself in previous years and I didn't want to be by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hated myself
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that like I just felt like I wasn't amounting to what the standard is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the social standard that is.
Like, so, you mean when it comes to like social media or?
Well, it's like, pretty much like you look on social media and you see all these people, they look so happy. You have no idea what's going on in their real life. But, they just bought their wife a fucking G-Wagon or, just, they're out in fucking Paris getting proposed to. You're like, man, like I'm 25 years old and I'm all by myself in a single bedroom apartment. Like, I'm depressed. I hate myself. I hate everything.
Because you're comparing yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you put all that shit aside and then you genuinely want to figure it out. You want to see why you feel this way. And then you gear your whole mentality in a different light. It really puts in perspective like how great your life is. Like genuinely like having the option to be by yourself and really focus on yourself, love yourself, because then you can love, everyone around you properly.
Yeah.
The way that they deserve. It builds your surroundings so much differently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like even down to my friend group, like you guys, you three are like yeah,
like my only friends.
You two are like the ones I hang out with, fairly consistently.
Yeah,
like I don't really hang out with anybody else, outside of the work and freaking the gym.
I think after a while you start realizing like who's actually there for you and who's not, like who's just kind of there, just kind of lingering, and who's like actually there for you.
Right. Like it's the quality that comes out as opposed to, like the people are like, oh, he's so cool and edgy because he fucking, it's dark and mysterious. It's like,
and I think that definitely comes with more responsibilities because like this year I definitely got way more, not this 2024, but like last year towards the end I got a lot more responsibilities, and I actually started thinking about shit like that, like who's actually there?
I noticed that.
Who's actually there to like give me my time and or like there for me, and who's there just like lingering, wasting my time and shit. Like, and I was like, like, I mean, not to say like I don't want to go out, so like I still go out every once in a while, but there's like I calculate, like, is it worth to go out right now? Like, or should I just stay home or whatever? Like, what's the benefits of it coming out of it? Or just, and not even that, like just a lot of things. Like you realize like you got actually shit you got to accomplish, shit that's like weighing on you, you know, type of stuff.
I think once you start to determine who you are as a person and you start to find out what your real values are as a person, I think your time becomes very valuable and precious.
Yeah.
And then you start to determine like, hey, is it worth it for me to stay out all fucking night?
You know, like, like, I think it was Warren. Was it Warren that said it? Where it's like, he looks at it like, if he spends like 2 hours outside, that's worth X amount of money. And is that worth his time if he goes out? Like, how much he's going to be spending? And I actually like think about shit like that now. I'm like, all right, if I go do this, is it worth my time? I can make, I'm not saying I make money every single hour, but it's like a way to make me not waste money or waste my time for like something.
Yeah, that's what made me become more entrepreneur minded, was trying to calculate how much like my hourly was worth.
Yeah.
So like if we were to work like an 8-hour period, right? Like how much time is that? Like how much money is an hour worth?
Thank you for watching that short clip of WAKU Radio. To find the full episode, go follow us on the link below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you like us, you hate us. Comment below. Don't forget to live life fearlessly.
Cooking up the track, I'm the baker just like Anita. Just that 5-star Michelin quality you can eat up.